All right, hey, I'm Jeremy. We're going to talk about Logary, which is logging for .NET. And Glenn already said some of this, but it's multi-target logging in a high-performance setting. The big idea is it's not blocking. I want to talk about it because it's written in F#. One of the creators of it is also one of the creators of Suave. So if you don't know what that is, go check that out too. That's suave.github.io. Yeah, so let's talk about that. So when we say multi-targeting, we're talking about saving our logs multiple places. So we can like write it to a file or just the console if we're just doing development. We want to see what's happening in real time. But there's also more places you can log it to, like ADO.NET, Riemann, a few other ones. And there's also the idea of adapters. So let's say I'm using another framework that I really like, and I want to get the logs from that into Logary. There's adapters that will do that for you, so you don't have to do any extra work. There's an adapter for Log4net, one for Suave, which we're going to look at, one for Top Shelf, and then one for Event Store. And I think I fixed it. Yes. All right, so let's look real fast. I'm using Xamarin Studio because you can write F# just about anywhere. And first we're going to look at our console app. So I have a basic app here that is basically just looping through user input, and it's actually just going to log it all to Logary. The code for it right here is basically just setting up that log. So we have a few pieces happening. I mentioned we have targets. So we have a target for a text writer. The text writer needs a happy path log for good things and another log for bad things. And then we have some rules for when to use each of the targets, and by default everything goes to it, but you can filter it so only certain things are sent to that target. And if we run this, I can cool. So if I go to my log, it's structured logging, so we have lots of metadata about what we just did. But the last bit of it should be hi .NET Fringe and quit. So very simple logging, but it's structured. We can use other tools to search on that now in a really meaningful way. And I can add more targets, which we're going to do with Suave. So let me change which app I'm running. So if we use Suave. So in Suave, we have an adapter for it. So down here, we can say our logger is the Suave adapter. And we just send an instance of our logger with the name of that logger. So in this case, it's the Suave logger. And I have a couple extra targets here. I have one for the console, one for the debugger, and one for a text writer. So if I run this one, and we have cool, I can go to localhost 8084, and we come back in here, and you can see it was running, it's putting all the output actually down here because I used my debugger, but it's also running it to the console for me if I care, and also to my file, and it's all really fast. So that's kind of it on that. There's a lot more with it, but in my short time, I didn't want to go too crazy. So check out Logary. It's logary.github.io for more F# fun. F# for fun and profit is a good place to go, and that's all I got.